Hey, everybody. I hope you had a really nice weekend and that you are ready for second quarter. It's kind of hard to believe, but here we are, and we're making the best of it, and we're getting stuff done, and we are diving into a whole new unit that I'm really excited about. So the unit is it's based on a unit that out of your My Perspective textbook. And most of you, I believe, picked this up before school started. And if you didn't, no worries. You can access the material online, and then I also provide digital copies of everything. So if you don't have the textbook, it's no biggie. You'll be just fine, and we'll help you figure it out. I'll help you figure it out. So this is the unit that we're doing. It's called Outsiders and Outcasts, and I've tweaked it just a little bit. I thought Outsiders and Outcasts as a title was a little bit dark and dreary and a little bit of a downer. And I thought we couldn't really talk about being an outsider without talking about the flip side, which is belonging, right? So I'm having the unit be belonging / outsiders. So like a little bit of both, two sides of the same cookie kind of thing. The first time I looked at this unit, I was like, what a weird unit. Like, why would this curriculum want to teach a whole unit on outsiders and outcasts? But the more I thought about it, the more I thought it was a really interesting concept, because so much of the literature that we consume and read and teach, especially fiction, but nonfiction too, a lot of it focuses on people who feel like they don't belong or feel like outsiders. And so it's kind of this very human feeling, this very human experience that everybody goes through, that everyone understands. And that's why so much literature focuses on it. So the more I thought about it, the more I was like, okay, this is actually kind of an interesting idea for a unit, because it is something that everybody can relate to and that so much of our literature focuses on. And it, being an outsider kind of plays a role in everyone's life at some point. So I'm excited about this unit. I've based it on the textbook, and then I've added some of my own stuff as well, just relating to the theme. So let's see. Real quick, I've redone the homepage just a little bit. The link to your classmeet is still there. I put a link here to the unit calendar so you can kind of see everything that we're doing for the next 5 weeks. This is a 5-week unit. It'll take us all the way up to winter break. So I'll click on that and show you that in just a second. Just a reminder, if you haven't already done so and you're curious, if you click on the Pages tab and then view all pages, so here, I'll do it right here. Pages, view all pages. You'll be able to access all of the previous weeks. So if you're like missing any work or you're curious about how to do an assignment or something, all of my videos and all of our weekly agendas and assignments are listed here. So you can always go back and look for your convenience. Let's see. So here's our calendar for the week, as per usual. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to post my video instructions as soon as I'm done filming them. So you have 4 things to do this week. All right. In addition to your 2 online Google Meets. So first, you've got an inventory, which is kind of like, we did one at the beginning of the identity unit. It's kind of just like an introduction to the unit. Like, what do you already know about being an outsider? What have you experienced? When have you experienced belonging? It's just to get you thinking about your own experience that you already have with what we're going to talk about in this unit. So that is the first thing. Here, let's just look at it. So this is what the inventory looks like. This is due by 8 p.m. Saturday. It talks about our essential questions for the unit. In what ways does everyone feel like an outsider at some point in their life? In what ways can being an outsider be a positive experience? Who decides whether or not someone belongs or is an outsider? And in what ways are both belonging and feeling like an outsider universal human experiences? So this is just 7 questions. If we were in person, I would probably have us do a seminar on these where We just sit in a big circle and talk about our responses and respond to each other. But since we can't do that, I'm just going to have you fill this out to the best of your ability, submit it to me. If there's something that you don't want to share with me, just don't write it on this document, okay? So I'm not like asking you to bare your soul if you don't want to. You totally can. But if there's something that you aren't comfortable sharing with me, you don't want to share with me, that's totally fine. Just leave it off of this document, okay? So rather than discussing this in person as a whole class, obviously, because we can't do that, what we are going to do instead is the second assignment, which I haven't been able to figure out how to link it here on the calendar, but I'm going to have us do a discussion on Canvas. So you can find this under discussions. You can also find it under assignments, and you can also find it on your calendar. But here's what this looks like. So this is your second assignment for the week. So this is my first time using this discussions tab in Canvas. So hopefully this is going to work out the way that I'm hoping that it does. So thanks for being patient with me. You are going to respond to these 2 questions and post your response. And you won't be able to see anybody else's response until you post your response. And the reason I have it set up that way is because I want you to write your thoughts rather than looking at someone else's thoughts and being like, oh yeah, totally, I'm going to write that. Like, I want to see your responses to these questions. So first you're going to post your responses, and then you're going to respond to at least 2 of your classmates. So kind of similar to what we would do if we were in person, but we're doing it digitally instead. So we'll see how this turns out. So question 1, share an area of your life where you sometimes feel like an outsider. Again, be sure that you choose something you're comfortable sharing with the class, because everyone will be able to read this and respond to it. And question 2, would you rather spend time with people who are very similar to you or very different from you? And please explain your answer. When you're responding to your classmates, I definitely want you to keep it positive, keep it kind. You could ask a question. You could give an affirmation, which is like, oh, I totally agree. I totally understand. That totally makes sense. I feel that way. So affirming what they said, words of encouragement, but keep it positive and kind, as always. Okay, so that is the second assignment for this week. Let's go back to our calendar. There is a video I want you to watch on YouTube. It's just a couple minutes long, but it is about feeling like an outsider from someone else's point of view. I thought it was a good video. And then finally, I'm going to have you read Revenge of the Geeks by Alexandra Robbins. So this is an article about, she talks about how a lot of times people feel like outsiders in high school. It's just kind of a common thing. I mean, I know that I felt that way. I was super shy and felt super like an outsider. I never really found like a group that I fit in with. But she talks about how a lot of times what makes people feel like outsiders in high school ends up kind of setting them apart and making them special or, talented or successful after high school. So it's kind of an interesting idea. Like, yeah, we all feel like, total outsiders and weirdos sometimes in high school, but sometimes those same things that make us strange in high school are the things that make us really interesting and, intriguing as adults. So it's an interesting article. I enjoyed reading it. And then once you are done with it, there's just some questions down here at the bottom. I want you to say what you think Robin's main argument or theme is, which I basically just told you. So try to say it in your own words. State your response in 1 or 2 complete sentences. Provide 2 pieces of evidence from her articles to support your answer to question 1. And then your own personal opinion. Do you agree or do you disagree with her claim or her argument that she is putting forth in this article? All right. So that's really just kind of our first week 1 of 5 of this belonging/outsiders unit. If you're curious to see what other kinds of stuff we're going to do, you can I just clicked on the Belonging Outsiders unit calendar. So I give you a link here on the homepage. And it's not completely done. I'm still working on some of the later weeks, but most of the stuff is linked here, and you can read ahead if you want to. So when there is an MP next to it, that means it is in your My Perspective books, but also I provide it for you. I provide a digital copy for you. There's also an online, you can access My Perspectives online, and everything that's in the My Perspectives book, you can listen to it like an audio version of it if you go to the online site. So I will show you guys how to access that in our Google Meet either tomorrow or Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. So make sure that you show up to that meet so that I can show you how to get onto their website. So if you want to listen to the audio of some of these articles, you can. We're going to look at some poetry next week. We're going to read about a Supreme Court Justice, Sonia Sotomayor, a New York Times article on being an outsider. Still trying to decide what I want you guys to do next week, if it's going to be a memoir, a poem, or something else. So this is mostly done. I'm still working on it a little bit. The unit will end with an essay. So this will be our first kind of big essay of the year. You'll have plenty of time to work on it. Don't stress about it. We'll work on it together. Basically, the essay is going to be responding to this essential question: how are belonging and feeling like an outsider both universal parts of the human experience? And then listed below are the learning targets that we'll be focusing on in this unit. So I'm excited. I think this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody twice a week from now on. So I know some of my classes voted to only meet once a week. I've decided that I need to see you guys twice a week. Once a week is not enough. I want to be able to check in with you and answer any questions that you might have and just kind of like get to know you. I'm noticing that the classes that I see twice a week, we just know each other better because we see each other more often. And so I want that for all of my classes. That's important to me. So yeah, those are our directions for the week. I will answer any questions or clarify anything that you have, any confusion that you have in our Google Meets this week. And I'm really excited to see you. I hope you had a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, peace out.